Okay, so this is my first time using StreamYard, so I don't really know how this thing works. We're going to figure it out today. And I don't usually go live on my YouTube channel, so thank you, sis. I don't usually go live on my YouTube channel, so I usually just make my videos and go. Y'all, I can't see. I'm blind. I should have did a better job at promoting. But I'll give it about 5 minutes. Yeah, I need my glasses, but they all the way upstairs. Dang, I didn't pick a good date and time. I'm sad. True. I don't know. That's why I don't do lives. I do lives on my Facebook page or Instagram. Until Sashay said that it builds watch time on YouTube. I rarely go live on YouTube. And I know I forget unless I get a reminder. Thank you, sis. Yeah, we're gonna start. I'm not gonna wait because I'll probably post this video anyway and then just use hashtags to share. Okay, so I I thought of the topic of marriage because a friend and I, we actually had started a marriage club for young Black couples, um, where we would meet with other couples here in Miami. We would do like date nights and stuff. And all of us were under the age of, I want to say like 33. So 33 and under. And a lot of my friends are married, and I choose to have friends that are married because I feel like they can give you advice and such, because they already know what's up. And it's hard to kind of get advice from your single friends because they live a whole nother life, right? So tonight, I just wanted to talk because I remember we would go live and we would have different topics about marriage and what people thought about marriage. And one of the biggest topics that we had was, should people really get married, right? So as a child growing up, of course, it's kind of like instilled in us that you get into a relationship, you build with the person in a relationship, and then you get married. Married is the outcome, right? Marriage is the outcome. But they, as you get older, a lot of people, they steer away from that because they feel like, oh, you don't have to be married to be in a relationship, right? You can just be in a relationship with the person, you can love the person, and you don't have to be married. So people say, we'll just date for the rest of our lives because marriage is just a piece of paper. So my question to y'all, okay, the first question is, do you believe marriage is just a piece of paper? Or what was your reasoning for getting married? Because my reasoning for getting married is not about a piece of paper. In Shayla's live, we were talking about like religion and all that stuff. One is because it is what it says when you connect, two people connect, and then you devote yourself to God, right? So that was one reason I decided to get married, and another reason is because I knew my husband was a person that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. So I knew that I wanted to be married to him and him to I, and that that was the forever, right? But did you or do you feel as though marriage is just a piece of paper, or is it something bigger? Right, and a lot of people do, especially now in this generation, with these people that were born like in the 2000s. No offense, I love my people, but even my sister, talking to her, and she's 22, she's not thinking about getting married. That's not in her peripheral vision. She not thinking about no kids. She's not thinking about marriage. And one, I think, is like your environment can affect your beliefs of marriage, and two, just your overall thinking. Like, we have the same mom and dad, and my mom has never been married and my dad has never been married. So for me, marriage was, I knew I wanted it because I felt like my parents were never genuinely happy. You get what I'm saying? Like, they never saw the forever in each other, and then they never found the forever in someone else. That is true. And I wish a lot of people would understand that, because I have friends who, and this is another thing, I feel like you should date with purpose, right? So anybody who's in the dating game, people who say they want to get married or they don't want to get married, but you date with purpose. Especially me, I'm 30. And if I was single, I would be dating with purpose. And even when I was dating my husband, I didn't know he was the person that I would marry, but I wasn't just dating casually. Like, I felt a connection to him. I knew it can turn into more. Not saying that we were going to get married, but I knew it could be. So it wasn't like I was dating just to say, oh, I got a man. No, I'm dating because I like you. I feel like you got certain things, that is like husband material. So I'm going to date you, right? And a lot of people, they don't date with purpose. They just date with their eyes. They date with a feeling that they get around the person. And then what happens is they either the person just, they end a relationship and then they stuck like Chuck, or B, they end up marrying someone that didn't have anything to offer them. It was just all feelings that they got with that person, and it was nothing more, and that sucks, you know. So I tell all my single friends, make sure when you dating somebody that you're dating with purpose. It's important because men and women, it's a lot of dog men out here, and it's a lot of dog women out here, and they just want what they want, and that's that. And I feel like we don't got time for that, especially us as women. We don't got time for you just to be playing with me. No, we don't got time for play. We want a serious thing, and if we feel like it's not serious, especially, you know, being 30 or in your late 20s, you want to make sure that you're dating with some type of purpose. And it's, you got to. So like I was saying, my parents, they were not married, right? So it made it difficult for me to see what marriage was really like. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. So are your parents married, if y'all don't mind me asking? Because I feel like people who have that door open to them, where their parents are married or their grandparents were married, they had something to compare what they were looking for in someone, right? Like, oh, my grandparents have been married for 30 years, and this is the relationship that I want. Or my parents have been married for 25 years, and I've seen them and they were always happy, and that makes me want a better relationship. See? So in that situation, right, doesn't that make you want to be, that makes you want to be a better wife? It makes your husband, you want your husband to be a better husband. And then for your kids, you want to be a better mother and father, where you are, you're the person where they look to and they say, ooh, when I get into a relationship, I want a relationship like my parents, right? And coming from somewhere where you don't have that ability to see how it's done, you making things up on the whim. And when my husband and I, when we got married, I was 27, and I'm older than my husband. My husband was 25. So we were both young. Yes, we were both, thank you. We were both young, and we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know. It was not, our relationship was not perfect. And I tell people our testimony all the time. Where we were at that time and where we are now is two completely different spaces. Even when we got married, it was not 100%. And relationships will never be 100%, but it was not. We were both still in that mentality of like, me. And relationships are we. And marriages are definitely a we. And that took something for me to get used to, because my mom, not being married, she was always like, oh, do that on your own. You don't need nobody. You don't need no man for nothing. You don't need nobody to take care of you. So when the doors open for someone to take care of me, right? It was just like, no, this is not what my mama taught me. My mama taught me to do for myself. And when you're in a relationship, especially marriage, okay, you have to make sure that you and your partner, you guys are making decisions together. Like, you can't let what other people say get in your way, because that creates a hostile place. And I know my married people can definitely agree on that, because when you let people in your marriage, it creates havoc. All right. And that's even relationships. When you're dating someone, when my husband and I were dating, it was the same thing. I couldn't let what people would say about him affect the way that I felt about him, and he couldn't let what people said of what they would say about me affect our relationship. And at first it was like, oh, I got to defend myself. Like, I can't defend him. He needs to defend himself. Like, I can't, put myself on the line for him. But that's not. That's not how it works. You gotta be there for your spouse. That's right. And when you let other people in, you'll see your relationship or your marriage, it'll start deteriorating, because you're letting other people put an input and a say so in what y'all got going on, and it's just the two of y'all. It's not about A, B, and C. When you're in a relationship or you're married, it's just A and B. And I feel like single people, when you are looking for a relationship, right? And you find someone that you like, and the person likes you, you can't let what other people say, unless, you know, the person is crazy and, you know, they're just not a nice person. It's not a nice guy, it's not a nice girl. But if you feel something for that person, you can't let what other people say, oh, he didn't come from a good family, he don't got money, look what he worked. That's not what you see. Maybe you see purpose in him. Maybe he, you know, working a part-time job right now, but he's in school, and you know he's hardworking and he's gonna be something. But you can't let people put things in your head that's gonna say, oh, maybe they are right. Maybe he will be broke for the rest of his life and he ain't gonna have money, and he don't got money right now, so he can't take care of me. Let me leave him alone. Then you miss out on someone who's good for you. Don't do it, sis. You don't do it, sis. You can't. You can't. You can't. You got to make sure that you build a solid foundation with that person, and it's very, very, very important. So another thing I want to talk about is children, right? So my thing is, we had this big live session about like your bonus children. And sometimes you enter a relationship, right? And someone may have children. Is that a yay or a nay for you? Like, let's say you know, you don't have no kids, and then the person that you dating, that you really, really like, they have 2 children. You moving along because you don't want to be a stepmama, or you sticking with the person? True, but let's say because you guys had children together and you and your husband share, right? But let's say before you met him, he had kids. See, and that's a good thing. But that wasn't me. That was not me. Okay, 10 years ago, Shay, I had a problem because I didn't have a child at the time, and I had a problem seeing myself being with someone who had children. To me, it was just automatically like, just because of the fact my mom had already instilled in me, like, okay, you don't want kids, that's not your kids because it's baggage. So me, I had already taken that, and I'm like, okay, the person that I date, they can't have no kids. And what happened? My husband, when I met him, he had a child, and his child was a small child. I'm saying, like, BJ was maybe like about to turn a year old. So for me, it was very difficult because I had already grew up with the mentality that you can't date a man with a child. So this guy had a 1-year-old child, and I didn't know, like, I was just like, ugh, like, this is a no, because my mama was like, oh, if they have a kid, they probably dating a baby mama, and they talking to the baby mama on the side. So that was just all in my head. But that goes back to what I say, you can't let people get in your head. You see? Because it's difficult. A child means that they already had established a relationship with somebody else in the past. And I feel like if you have a child with someone, well, nowadays everybody just popping babies out with whoever. But if you usually 50% of the time when you have a child with someone, it was something there. Maybe it was love, some type of affection was there. So that person always had that feeling, you know, they had feelings for the other person. And it's like, ooh, I'm walking in on a relationship. Like, am I walking in on a relationship? Like, were they with this person? Thank you. But yeah, it's crazy. So it's like, marriage is a give and take. And I feel like you have to go in marriage with an open mind. And I talk to a young generation of kids all the time, and people who, because I used to work at a park, and kids who just be with like A, B, C, and D, and they just have no like mind frame of settling down in a relationship. And it's tough. Marriage is not for everyone. I can tell you right now, I'm a witness. It is not easy.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Oh, that's Alexa. I've been through the bottom. Okay, the bottom, and then we worked our way to the top. And when I saw this post where it said marriage is not for the weak, it's not for the weak. You can't be weak going into this thing. It's definitely totally different from dating someone, because when you dating somebody, you can just leave. You can say peace out and leave. Take your stuff and then you go. But with marriage, it's like it is literally a piece of paper, but you two have become one. So it's not easy to just leave, like to say, oh, I'm about to leave, and then you have kids involved sometimes, and it's just a lot. So it takes hard work. And I tell people all the time, don't go in there if you're not willing to work hard, because even people, let's say you've been in a relationship for like 10 years, right? 10, 20 years with someone, and you're like, dang, I've been with this person so long that I feel like we need to get married. I don't tell people, oh, go ahead and get married to that person because you done been together so long. Because it may not be for you, boo. That your purpose was not to get married. You don't have to jump in. You don't have to jump into getting married. Hey, because it's not for everybody. It literally takes two strong-minded people who love each other and who are willing to take the good and the bad, and then balance that thing out and then work on it. And if you two, and see, that's beautiful. That's that. See, 10 years. Yes. Because my husband and I, next year it'll be 4 years for us. But has the 4 years been gravy, peaches and cream and all that good stuff? No. It took me, I've actually turned into somebody completely different, and for the good. Like he's brought out better for me, and I've done the same thing for him. Like it takes growth. And another thing is, I feel like in order for you to get married, you have to be able to grow with one another. Because sometimes two people, you done planted little seeds, and them little things are not sprouting. It's just seeds. Y'all have done absolutely nothing. It's just completely flatline, nothing growing. It ain't there. That means we shouldn't even be together. It ain't nothing. When you connect to the right person, and I tell my single friends this all the time, when you connect to the right person, you will know that that person is the right person, because you guys are going to start doing things, and you're going to start seeing things completely, totally in a new, bright light. And that's how you know, ooh, like I'm literally doing greater and bigger things with this person. Like this person really here for me. They down for me. See, and it's difficult, and I can't disagree with that, because you literally have to spend your entire life. Hey, you literally have to spend your entire life with this person. Like this person, you're gonna be with them forever. And is it hard to find a forever person? Yes. Just because I found my forever person doesn't mean that it's easy for somebody else to find a forever person. Maybe their forever person isn't there. Hey, so it's difficult. I tell people all the time, maybe you're not supposed to get married. Like I can't say, oh, go find your husband. No, because maybe your husband isn't there. I don't know. I can just tell you from my personal experiences what I've been through and what happened. Like how we had to learn how to communicate. We didn't know how to communicate. It wasn't there. So my question is, what do you think is the biggest problem with relationships? Like, why do relationships fail? And my answer is communication. I think that's the number one top answer of why relationships fail, because people cannot communicate. They don't know how to talk to one another. They don't know how to express their feelings. They're scared to say things to their partner, to their significant other. It's hard. Yeah, you can't rush it. See, communication. It's a learning process. To this day, I'm still learning to be a better communicator. And I don't think anyone can teach you how to be a great communicator to a spouse. Thank you. cheat. But see, everybody cheat, right? Now, again, Shayla in her live, she asked a question about Kevin Hart and his wife, and about should she have left when she was pregnant when he cheated. And I said I can't answer that question because I don't know what their situation was. This goes back to communication, right? Let's say you and your partner are going through something. You're pregnant. Your partner is stressed. Y'all having financial issues. Both of you guys are in a stressful situation and a stressful place. But both of you are keeping that to yourself because you're saying, I don't want to say anything because I don't want them thinking, it's about me. It's about them. And then the other person is saying the same thing. And then you guys aren't saying anything to each other. That stress will start turning into anger because then you're going to be so pissed off with your spouse that they're not doing the things that you told them to do. I'm pregnant, my feet hurt, I can't walk, my partner working 24/7. I don't feel like cooking, and they got me in there cooking, right? So it's like, why not tell them how you feel? Tell your husband, babe, I can't even cook anymore. Like, I need your help. But people don't know how to effectively communicate. So what happens? The girl's upset. The husband just thinks she's upset all the time and doesn't know what's wrong. He can't figure it out. So he's working. And then all of a sudden he get caught up and then he starts telling the way that he feels to somebody else. That's where you mess up at because you don't need to be telling anybody else what you're feeling and what you're going through. You should be telling that to your spouse, not your friend from your job. Because what happens is that friend is going to give them the advice that they want, when you should be getting that advice from your spouse. That's the person that you going through the stressful situation with. That's the person that you got these, you're angry and you want to tell them how you feel, but you want to tell somebody else. Then that casual conversation goes into something else. It turns into something else. And then that person is telling your spouse everything that you want to hear from them. That creates your pathway of, maybe the grass is green on the other side because sis over here stressed and she ain't talking to me and she angry at the world and I'm getting everything that I want over here. It's temptation. Not saying the person is they're supposed to walk away from that, but it's tough when you're not a good communicator and you don't have anyone to go to, your spouse who you should be going to, telling that too. Don't bring them people into your marriage, because if, let's say, that person likes your husband, of course this gonna be telling your husband everything he want to hear, the sweet things. Oh, she shouldn't have you stressed. Why you stressed? You should be relaxed because you over here working, you providing for the family. Oh no, there you go. She talking, he listening, he feeling it, and then boom, what happened? He cheat, right? And all of this could have been rewind and could have been solved if they just would have been effectively communicating with one another. Him talking to her, saying, I feel like I'm just working too much. And then her saying, you know what, I'm tired. Let's come together and come up with some kind of conclusion on how to figure this out. And I think it's hard. And even being in a relationship is hard. Like, people don't like to tell people what they're looking for in a partner. People scared. They scared. They don't tell people because I don't want them to think, I'm bougie. No, you can tell people what you're looking for in a partner, because if they don't have it, you can eliminate that. And people say all the time, I gotta lower my standards. You do not have to lower your standards, sis. Just like you say you don't want to get married, that don't mean that, just because you're not getting married, you can't find your Prince Charming in someone that you're dating, because that person is out there. You gotta just let the people who you feel like are just wasting your time, you literally have to let them go. And it's hard for people to do that because they feel like they don't have time to be in a relationship, or they're rushing into a relationship that is difficult for them to really take time and to find a person that they really, really like, that they gotta lower their standards. I'm not lowering my standards because I know what I deserve. And I know all y'all know what y'all deserve. So you shouldn't lower your standards. It's not cool. It's not what's up. I wanted to ask a question. What's the longest time you guys have ever dated someone? Not my married people, but my people who are dating. What's the longest time that you've ever dated someone? Yeah, I made the best pina colada drink. I don't know, my thing moving slow. For years. Woo. And are you married to that person, or was just dating and then y'all just ended things? 4 years is a woo. Wow, that's a long time. 4 years. I'm thinking 365 times 4. And you see a lot of people, right? Like my mom, I'll give an example. Dated, okay, my dad for 20, what, let's say 20, 24 years, right? 24 years until she figured out that he wasn't the one. Oh, girl, what, sis, what you, sis, what did you do? Oh, I'm not a thug, but I always said in that type of situation, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Cause one time my ex texted me and said my husband was at Fridays, but he was at a birthday party. We were dating at the time. It was like, oh, he's there with his girlfriend. I went to the Fridays ready to fight. I didn't care who I had to fight, ready to fight. And it was a misunderstanding. But I was ready to throw some bowls. Oh, see, it's I don't know what's wrong with these. I don't know what's wrong with these dudes out here. It's some good ones. It's some good men out here, but man, it's 80% just some dirty dogs. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with these men. They gotta do better. Dang. See, I don't want to go to jail, but man, that it would take me there. Oh, yeah, I would have fought him. Bad business. Bad business. See, there's some dirty dogs, and these are people that you don't 2 years single now. See, and that's another thing, trust issues. I speak openly to my husband, and I tell him, I kind of sort of I have trust issues, and he hasn't done anything to prove to me that that he's done something, but I've always had trust issues, and I don't know where it came from, but I just always feel like somebody can do you dirty just because you're so open to them that they can do you dirty just because they know how much you love them. And I've had that mentality for a very, very, very long time, right? And that sucks because you always go into a relationship thinking they talking to somebody else, they texting somebody else. Oh, but we fighting. Oh, by both of them. These men. I'm ready to fight about 4 men in his life. That's crazy. That's crazy. But see, they gonna get what they deserve. It's fine. Cause karma, they gonna get what they deserve. They some dirty dogs. And I always tell my husband, don't on me. Back in the day, I used to be like, don't do it because something gonna happen. Don't play with this one. Cause I won't even have to do nothing. Just don't. I had to instill that fear in him. Like, I ain't the one to be played with. I ain't for play. That's crazy, y'all. I'm sorry. And it sucks to be cheated on. It really hurts. And I always had this thing of like, I don't care what nobody do to me. Like, because I can just walk away from it and find somebody else. But when you have feelings for someone and they do you dirty like that, it'll just throw you all off. I do have a question though. So let's say you know what happened in your past relationships. When you start dating other people, do you tell them about what occurred in your past? Like when they say, oh, like tell me something about you, and you say, oh, well, I was in a serious relationship, the person cheated on me. Do you let them know that, or you just start fresh? Like, ooh, it's a new shade, like new person, I'ma just start fresh. You tell them, I found out from my cousin. Oh, he a dirty dog. See, I feel the same way, Talisha. I feel like you shouldn't tell them anything. You shouldn't tell them nothing. You go in, see, because what happens is we already know men dirty, right? When you start telling them about your past, they'll start bringing that stuff up. They may be Prince Charming the first day, the first month, the first 4 months, maybe the first year. But when you do something, if they're a nasty man, they're going to say, oh, well, that's why so-and-so did that to you. How you going to bring up something that hurt me in my past that I told you being my confidant, and you bringing that up to me? Don't bring that up. That wasn't for you to bring up. I was telling you, and then that's why you avoid it and you don't tell them, because you don't want them using that. And a lot of men do that. I'm sorry to say it. I don't know what's wrong with them. I think that's a female habit, because it's like gossiping to me. You don't bring up what I told you. If I told you this, that's not for you to bring up. You need to keep that to yourself. And just for that, I'm going to walk into the relationship not telling you absolutely nothing. Don't ask about my past. Don't ask about my sexual partners. Don't ask about nothing, because that has nothing to do with you. As long as I'm clean, you feel me, and I don't have anything important to tell, then that's it. But don't ask me nothing, because I don't want you bringing it up. And maybe you'll find someone who won't. And maybe if you were together for a long time and you got married and then you want to tell them about it because that person is genuine, then you can. But when you start dating a person, hey, y'all start talking and he said, oh, let me take you out. Don't start wow, I just like you so much because you different from all the others. There we go. Oh, I'm different. How am I different? Oh, because, they didn't take me here and they used to take me to McDonald's and da-da-da. We're a queen all day. And if they ask, oh, I've been treated like a queen, I just didn't find the person that I was looking for. That's it, point blank, period. We don't tell them our business. It ain't cool. We don't do that because we don't want them to use that against us. It ain't right. It ain't kosher. So sis, that's my advice. Don't say nothing. Keep your mouth shut. And then about the cheating thing. Now I would, I can't say I know what I would want to do, right? But me being a bigger person, like right now, I would say I don't even want to waste my time. Like, you're not going to take me there. Y'all remember that video that popped up that went viral with the girl who had lit her boyfriend's car on fire and then the flame had, like, went in her face? Y'all saw that, right? And I don't know what he did to sis. But sis was pissed to have gone to, oh, y'all didn't see, man. The girl, it had me weak too. The girl went to his car, I guess in his neighborhood, and his windows was down. She took gasoline, poured the gasoline all on the back seat and the front seat, and took, I don't know if she had a lighter, but she lit it. And when she lit the car, the flame inflamed her, literally. Like it went all in her face, and this was her, and she was trying to run, and the entire thing was recorded on camera. So sis done vandalized this man's car. Okay, she done set it on fire. sis' face was on fire, right? So I don't even know how sis, I don't even if they show an after effect picture of her face, but I know it had to be some type of damage. So she got a damaged face. She done vandalized this man's car, so there's some charges against her. And sis going to jail because they done recorded the whole thing and she on camera. I don't know what he did. Maybe he cheated. Yes. I don't know what he did. He had to have cheated. But in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm not risking it all because one, I'm not going to jail. Okay. Two, I can't let you take me there emotionally. Like I have to be some type of strong for myself. Like I can't. And every time I think about it, I think about when I was about to beat the crap out of I was about to beat the crap out of the girl who my ex said that at the time my boyfriend was with. I was ready to fight her. And when I think about it now, I'm like, I was crazy. Like I told my best friend to come get me so we can go to the mall so we can find this girl so I can beat her up. I can't fight. And I don't want anyone taking me to that place emotionally. So you shouldn't let men, like, I know they are very captivating. Okay, they start saying all the right things. They start doing all the right things. They start throwing money. I don't know. Maybe they paying for Birkin bags. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something and they have us mesmerized, right? But we have to be strong enough to say, if they're doing something dirty, that we just gonna walk away from the situation and then not even let them take us to the place of doing something that we gonna regret. Because I'm pretty sure after sis had lit that car on fire and that flame got in her face, at that time she was just like, oh hell no, what did I do? Right? We not gonna let them take us there this year. 2020 has already been kind of we ain't gonna let the man do this to us because we know, right, that we can handle on our own. And when we find somebody good, they're not gonna even they're not gonna take us to that place. Sis, I ain't gonna for nobody. Ain't no mug shots. I'm not about to have my wig on taking my mug shot. It ain't happening. I'm not going to jail unless it's my child. Then I gotta beat somebody behind. But I ain't going to jail for no man. I'm sorry. I can't do it. It's just not gonna happen. They ain't gonna say, oh, Shay went to jail. No, Shay went to jail for beating the crap out of some child who was beating up her daughter. Maybe me, but I'm not going to jail for no man. I'm not gonna risk it all because guess what, sis? He ain't gonna do it for you. He ain't going to jail for you. If something he is not going to jail for you. Now, it is some crazy men out there who willing to, there's some crazy men out there. They crazy. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ones who, if they dirty and nasty, and maybe you doing something, they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to just do the same thing. They're going to go with Jill, Lil, Lakeisha, Latanya. They're going to be with them and then not even think about you. They just going to move on to the next. And we got to be just like that. Not that mentality of, oh, let me move on to the next guy, because you always need time and space between relationships. But we ain't going to jail. With that lady who ran her man over. She know her. Yes. Yes. You see, sis was going through some stuff. And her friends should have, maybe sis did reach out to her friends and was like, oh, I'm about to kill this man. It was like, yeah, get him. No, this lady was literally going to kill him. I ain't killing. I got time to be taking your life. I don't want to take your life. I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to need to leave before I beat the crap out of you. But I got time to be trying to take your life. Man, you got... Go on Facebook. I think you can type in the search, lady running over man, and the video should pop up. It's crazy. And these men men always talking about women crazy, or especially black women are crazy. We're not crazy. Y'all do that to us. Y'all take us to that space. And even if you haven't experienced it, what you hear about men, that's going to F up your whole mentality of men. That's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, some friends, listen, I'm telling you, my best friend, at that time, we lived 20 minutes apart. And when I told her, my ex just said that so-and-so here with this girl, friend, drove from north to south to come pick me up, south to north to go take me to the place, and then back north to south to drop me home. She was like, Shay, I'm on my way. Now, at that time, my best friend should have said, Shay, we're not going to this place to fight. We don't need to fight. Just stay home and talk to him when you get home. Don't let your ex tell you anything, because he already disturbed, one, that he your ex, and two, he just trying to mess up what y'all got. But my best friend was ride and die, was like, Shay, I'm coming to pick you up. We about to beat this girl. No. So never again. I need somebody that's going to say, Shay, don't do it. Think about it. Think about everything that you got to lose, because I got a lot to lose. I ain't losing it, sis. It ain't happening. So even though my friend ride or die, I know she's gonna beat whoever with me if that needs to happen. But I don't got time to be beating nobody, because it ain't worth it. Oh, see, you the crazy, but see, I'm the crazy friend too. At that moment, you know, you already like hype and you ready. And then, like, when you on the way to the place, you thinking like, shoot, like maybe this isn't the right thing to do. Like, maybe tonight I'm gonna get arrested, so I shouldn't do it. But at the time when my friend tell me what a man did, I'm like, where he at? Where did he park? Where's his car? How does his car look? I gotta stop. But now, you know, in my mind, I'm saying all that, and then I go, wait, Shay, no. No, we can't be doing this. We can't be doing this. Let's see if you heard me. That not for play. Not, and I feel like if your best friend don't say that, they ain't no real ride or die. Even if they're not about that life, because I'm not about that life, Lord knows I done been bullied. People done bullied me, and I haven't, to this day, I still have not gotten into a fight. But guess what? By my mouth, you're not going to know that I don't know how to fight, because I'm going to turn crazy. But you got to be. You can't let, even though you're not going to do nothing, maybe you will. But even though I know I'm not going to do nothing, I got a mouth and I'm going to talk crazy. I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever. I'm ready for war, but I'm really not. I'm really a lover. I'm not a fighter. I can't. I don't even got no good set. My husband tell me all the time, girl, put your fist down. You need to learn how to put up your set. So I don't even tell people. I don't know how to fight. But don't let them do it to you, sis. These men are crazy. But there's some good men out there. My husband, we were both a work in progress. And I compare men to clay, right? You literally have to mold them. Some come molded. I don't know where. I don't know. There we go. It's the mouth. I don't know where the men are who come molded. I can't tell you where to find them. You got to do the Sierra prayer. I don't know where they are, right? But there are a lot of men who have that potential, right? They're just this big blotch of clay that you gotta put in the time to mold, okay, and get that man to where you want him to be. And then he'll be there. Maybe we need a little bit molding too. I'm not saying I was all well put together, okay, but at least like you can kind of see, you know, what was going on with me. But my husband, we had to work on some things, right? And I tell him, together we conquered the world. Together. Apart, and he'll say it. He tells people all the time. He was like, I'm thankful for my wife because I don't know where I would have been if I didn't meet her. And it's always important for the person who you meet to understand that. Like, that's how you know you bring out the best in someone, when that person can say that. Like, without you, I don't know how I would have figured this thing out. Like, maybe I would have figured it out, but it probably wouldn't been as easy because I had you as a partner. And I say that about my husband all the time. Without him, I probably wouldn't have figured out where I would be right now. I wouldn't have had the things that I've had. I wouldn't have been able to accomplish the things I have accomplished. It probably would have took some time, and maybe it wouldn't have been the same thing. But what we have accomplished together, it was because we were together and we stuck it out. Okay, and we took time and we grew with one another. We learned how to effectively communicate. We learned how to put each other first. We learned how to keep people out of our business. We learned who we can talk to, because I'm not saying you can't talk to anybody. In the beginning of this live, I said that we have a lot of friends who are married, and when we really go through things, we can talk to, there's one couple, my daughter's godfather and his wife. We can really speak to them about marriage. And they've been together maybe 6 years. They've been married 6 years. But those are people who we can confide in, who won't judge us. They're not going to judge us. They're going to tell us the truth, the full truth. They're not going to take sides. They're openly, and those are the people that you have to surround yourself with. Whether you're in a relationship or you're married, you have to, like, I don't tell my friend that she's in the right all the time who's single, because she's not in the right all the time. Sometimes I tell her she missed out on someone that she should have been with, but just because she, was feeling a certain way, or she was, wanted to, she felt like that person wasn't for her, or was just saying small things. But I tell her and I check her. And you have to have people in your life who's going to check you. You don't want people that's saying yes all the time. Oh, you right. Oh, you deserve. No. I'm going to tell you exactly how it is, and I'm not going to take sides with anyone. So you have a sister that you can go to. See, and that's good. Whoever it is, friends, sibling, even parents. I know people who are very open with their parents about. Now, I'm not telling my mama nothing about my relationship, because sis like now she's gotten better, but before, she was always on my side. I don't need you on my side. I need you to help me reason, okay? But my friends, they not gonna judge us. When I go through hard times, I really go to them, and then they tell me good advice. So I just wanted to encourage you guys tonight on this live, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're single, whether you're married, the first thing that you got to do, right? See, you hit it right there. But the thing is, a lot of people are going to get pissed when you speak the truth, because they feel as though you're supposed to sugarcoat it for them just because you're friends. And that's not how it works. And I had to learn that. When my friends tell me when I'm mad, I don't speak my feelings. When I'm mad, I'll hold it in. And at first that used to bother me. But when I figured out that everyone was saying that, I had to say, oh shit, you got to check yourself. So now when they tell me things, I take heed to the things that they tell me, and I don't get upset. But there are people out there, when you tell them the truth, they're going to feel like, oh, you just against me, or you hating on me, or you jealous of me. Don't don't get started. My family and friends always on my side. See, right? Getting older, you gotta, sometimes you gotta do a self-evaluation check, because people be saying, oh, he like, and it's sometimes it's you. It's you have to literally do a personal evaluation of yourself, because it just may be something about you that you're doing wrong. Sometimes it's not the person, sometimes it is, but sometimes it isn't. And if you see a pattern, right, of things that people say, or the way that people treat you, you gotta take a pen and paper and say, maybe it's something I'm doing wrong. Maybe it's something I have to check with myself. A self-evaluation of myself, because everybody is saying this about me. So it's important. You have to be an honest friend. You have to be an honest girlfriend. You got to be an honest fiance. You have to be an honest wife. Same thing when you're in a relationship. You have to tell people when they're wrong. I never told my husband when I felt like he was doing something wrong. I held that in. And that's when I was going through things of not being able to express myself. But I used to hold that in. When we were dating and he would do things that I felt like I didn't like, I would just hold it in. And guess what? When I held it in, I would get pissed. And then I never told him that when he would do something else, I'm just adding on fuel to the fire, and I'm adding and I'm adding and I'm adding. And then that's when I'm just pissed that I don't even want to speak to you, when I should have said something in the first place. You have to be vocally expressive towards things that bother you, and it's difficult. I know it's not easy. Me too. Me too. And I everybody who knows me knows I'm very emotional. I really don't like speaking about my problems, but I've learned to speak about things that bother me, but I cry. I pray and I cry. And then I hold it in and I go, okay, I don't need nobody to fix it. But I'm a crybaby. I can cry right now. I cry for everything. And that was something that I had to learn, that I can't, I can pray about it, I can cry about it, but I really need to speak and say what's on my mind, because you can't hold that in. Because when you hold it in, even if you're not in a relationship with anyone at the time and it was from a past relationship, when you hold it in, that's why trust issues and things happen, because you never got what you felt from the mess up of the past relationship off your chest. You have to speak and say something to someone. It's very important. And I wish I knew this stuff when I was getting into the dating game at first. Like, I was a dirty dog. I would date people and they would do any and everything for me, and then I would just dismiss them just because it was something that I didn't like and I really didn't know how to communicate with them, and I would dismiss them. And that's something that I regret, because you can't do that. You really have to talk to people. See, and I don't like hurting people's feelings too. And I used to cry when I would break up with people, but I wouldn't tell them why I'm breaking up with them. I would just be like, I don't want to be with you no more. And it was a problem. And maybe it was something that I could have told them that maybe it was something that they had to work on. But I have never been an effective communicator. And the crazy is, I got a degree in communication, but I am not an effective communicator. Well, I wasn't an effective communicator. I am now, but it was very hard for me to learn how to communicate. And it just goes to show you that people don't teach you that. That's something that you have to learn on your own, to effectively communicate with people and tell people how you really feel, and not in a nasty way, but in a very nice, professional, and uplifting way. You want to tell someone. You don't want to hold that stuff in. So that's very important. But it's 8:57, so I said I was there on the for an hour, but just want to tell you guys, whether you're single, you're dating, in a relationship, married, okay, whatever you're doing, the most important thing is self-love, right? You have to love yourself. Make sure you're comfortable with yourself. Make sure that you know what you offer. Make sure you tell, when the people see you, that you exonerate being a queen, okay? And they're gonna treat you with respect. And ain't nobody gonna approach you who know that you are here and we here and y'all right here, because you give that presence off when you walk into the room. When they see you, they're gonna be like, oh, they're like, oh, I ain't gonna even talk to her because I know she. Yes, you give that off because you want people to respect you. Okay, you don't want people treating you any type of way. You want people literally, you whine and they whine and dine. Like you give off that confidence where people know not to treat you, that they don't want to treat you anything less than what you deserve. So single people, self-love, okay? Love yourself first. Don't rush out there getting into relationships, because it's no rush. Take your time. And it doesn't matter how old you are, okay? People go, oh, I hate the people. Not hate, strongly dislike. Oh, I'm about to be 30 and I want to have kids and get married before I'm 30. So then they rush and they jump into a relationship with someone who they shouldn't even be in a relationship with. That's something that you don't want to do. And then if you're in a relationship, you still have to have self-love. Don't lose yourself in the relationship. Know who you are, know where you stand, know that even though you're with that person, I always have that mindset that just because I'm with the person doesn't mean that person owns me. I'm in control of myself, okay? And I can take care of myself, but I'm gonna let you take care of me. And then if you're married, it's the same thing. It's important to have self-love, because sometimes you're with that person so long that you begin to lose yourself, because you become something that person wanted you to be. But you have to stand firm in your self-love to know who you are and what you offer in the relationship, and still make them respect you. So thank you for watching my live. Sending all that love and positivity. What is this? August. We've been in quarantine for how long? Woo! I just need a good twerk session or something. But Thanks again for coming, you guys, and for sharing this moment with you. And many blessings in whatever relationship that you're in. If you're single and you're looking for somebody, your girl, I hope y'all find somebody, okay? Somebody who gonna love and respect you and treat you like the queen that you are. Again, thank you so much, guys.